Paul Oneid, owner, head coach, Master Athletic Performance, and co-owner of Coaches Corner University. We're going to talk today about logbooking and a concept that I like to call logbook gymnastics. So why is a logbook important? What is a logbook? A logbook is essentially where you track your training. It's how we track our performance over time. It's how we provide feedback to ourselves for future sessions. It's how we make progressions more objective. It's how we monitor performance in the long term. It's how we motivate ourselves on those tough sessions. And it's also what helps us make better decisions. When we're in a caloric deficit, the logbook becomes an incredible tool. When we're in an energy deficit, our recovery resources are low. If we can't recover, we can't adapt. If we can't adapt, we're not going to make progress. So monitoring our training output over time is used as a proxy for muscle retention, which means if we're still able to get stronger, we're probably not losing muscle mass while we diet. If we're able to continue to progress and maintain our output, we're going to be better in the long term. Pushing for progressive overload can come to a stall while we're dieting. So if we make better decisions, we can elongate our progressions and stave off that muscle loss as long as we can. So what are logbook gymnastics? Basically, this is the strategic selection of loads so that you can ensure we have progressive overload every session. On the days where you're feeling not so great, you know what you have to exceed or just slightly beat in order to make progressions. Or on the days that you're feeling good, you know that it's okay to push a little bit harder. The logbook's your guide. We know our maxes through every rep range, so we know what benchmarks we need to exceed. Based on how we feel that day, we can make the appropriate selection whether not to push heavier or to push for more reps at a given load. It allows us to make a decision whether we're going to, during our ramping or feeler sets, whether that heavier weight is the goal today or whether more reps are the goal for that day. And how do you know? Well, we're going to learn to make better decisions over time. The only goal in mind is a progressive overload stimulus, so do a little bit more with what we have. How do we do logbook gymnastics? How do we implement it? Well, let's say, for example, we have one set of 8 to 12 on an RDL. We know that we have 4 different rep maxes. We have 405 for 12, 410 for 10, 445 for 8, or 455 for 7. Now, within this, if I want to maintain my 8 to 12 reps, I need to make sure that I either do a little bit more weight for the same amount of reps or more reps for the same amount of weight. If I walk in feeling really beat up, I can still push my logbook. And now I have options. So I could do, 415 to 445 for 9 reps. If I do anywhere within that 30-pound range for 9 reps, I got progressions. Or I could push 10 reps at 445 and still have progression. Any one of those sets accomplishes the goal of progressive overload, which is the only thing that we're after. This allows you to choose the range where you feel most comfortable and capable depending on the day. And you can adopt this strategy for any number of exercises in your training plan, as long as you're using a progressive overload approach and you're comfortable pushing towards failure. It's okay. My logbook is essentially, for me, everything I need to know about my training session. So what I'll do is I'll come in and I'll write down the exercises in the order that I'm going to do on that particular day. So in this case, we're going to go back to June 27th, my upper body workout, my primary push. So if you come look, I have all the exercises written down that I've done for the day, the sets and reps, and then the loads performed for the number of reps. I mark that with the little elastic band that comes with my book. The page marker here is set to the previous time I did that workout. So if I flip back, same exercises, same sets and reps, and I have all the weights that I hit in that particular workout. So now as I go through this push workout, I know what weights to select. I know how many reps I need to make in order to beat that benchmark, and I'm able to plan the workout in an order that I can progress every set of every movement. Now there will come a time where I can't do that. So I'll make sure that at least on one of the sets, I'm able to either push reps or load. And on the rest of the sets, I try to match my performance.